A brief introduction to Philippe Bouzaglou. So last year, Philippe, I don't know exactly, Philippe proposed to talk to MICES, and he said, let's launch a big e-commerce, a foundational e-commerce model at the event. And I said, no, this is not what the event is about. And then Philippe joined, and he really enjoyed the event. And basically, we thought it might be a good idea to finally speak about the model and about choosing the model. So please welcome Philippe.
Thank you. All right. Yes, so you're going to hear a little bit today. You've heard about embeddings. You know what it is. I'm not going to go over that, so I'll skip since I've got only a very short time slot. So I'm Philippe Bouzaglou. I was at Harvard. I guess my claim to fame is that I was part of the founding team of Facebook. I was in the dorm room with Zuckerberg, and in the movie I'm played by an extra. But other than that, after that I continued on and went into the search world. So for the last approximately 4 years now, we've been working on an AI foundation model for search, for e-commerce search specifically, because there are specific things that are required in search that are not required in other LLMs or other embedding models. That, for example, speed. And you'll see that this model we designed from the start with everything, with basically all of you in mind, and your quality of life included. So we thought the model needs to have very, very large pre-training and needs to have world knowledge, which is what's missing right now. So many of you have been talking in earlier presentations about all mini LM L6 or L12 V2. That one, for example, has very little world knowledge. It has great knowledge of language. It understands how words relate to each other, but it doesn't know what a specific product is. If you tell it about a Jane Birkin bag, it won't know what it is. So we also thought we needed to have the tiniest vectors possible. So we needed to squeeze as much information as possible into the tiniest vectors possible to make the life of you and your database better, so that you don't end up with either long search times or with enormous indexes, right? I think some of you have tried what happens when you try to put in a 4,000 dimension vector into a database. It's soon not funny anymore. Speed, that was for us like one of the main things, because we're at the very, very top of the search stack. So when the query gets made, you need to embed that query before you can start doing anything in the vector search, before you can run through the search engine, before you can do any of the re-ranking, everything. We're a blocking query at the very top. So we needed to be extremely fast. And so 5 milliseconds median, P90 of 8 milliseconds is like it's a world record right now that we have. And we insist on this all the time. And we also design separately in the same vector space, a separate high speed, that's the one that can reach the 5 milliseconds, separate ultra high speed text only embedder that is working on this entire multimodal space that I will talk about in a second. So the training, we decided to go for an extremely long training, like on the order of 4 years. It was very expensive. And this is the kind of the models, all mini LM is about this size. The bigger embedding models that you can get have trained on about 100 million tokens, or and then this is the guy. This is what the 1 trillion. So we've trained on over 1 trillion tokens. This is what happens when you train on over 1 trillion tokens, is that you're able to. So we went for long training. So basically the things that everyone else shies away from because they're just too hard, too annoying, too difficult, and too costly. So we went for the hard stuff so that you guys don't have to do it. And I'll give you an example of the difference that you get. So let's say these shoes. In all mini LM, this is what the model sees. In ours, diamond-shaped quilting pattern covering the entire upper raised padded appearance, creating dimensional effect. So it just goes on and on and on. It even, having read basically the entire internet more than once at this point, it knows not only has it, oh, and it is also multimodal. Sorry, I forgot to introduce that. It is, for marketing people, we say 3 dimensions. For you guys, we could say something between 2 and 3. So 2.5, because it's structured data, unstructured data, whether you count that as 1 or 2, and then images. And it encodes everything into a single vector space, and it's able to move the information seamlessly between the two. So for example, if you have a new product that is missing a description, it can backfill the description. This was, okay, I have a case study that we can go through quickly. This was used at the Gorillas in Germany. For those who are from Berlin or from Germany, probably remember the famous story of Gorillas. An example of what it looked like before and after. So for the search sugar, you had things that had sugar as ingredients, for example, because that was in the text. And that was before and after, just 100% sugar. Yes, the search abandonment went like this. That was France and Germany after the rollout of the search. And we were responsible for an uplift of $57 million the first year of additional revenue. So yeah, so if you want to get started, talk to me after. And so the first thing you do, you embed your catalog. You start with, we're very humble. We say just start with candidate generation. Don't touch anything else. You can keep all your entire stack, all your layers without touching anything. We'll just create additional novel candidates, basically candidates, search results candidates that your existing stack would not have thought about. And we're very early on, so we're very happy to hear what you build. And because of that, we're today announcing that we're revealing the distilled model for free. So if you use an open source platform as a way to show our gratitude to the open source community, everyone has unlimited use for free if they are on an open source platform. So that's OpenSearch, Elastic, and Quadrant and company. Okay, and I can also show you a demo since I have maybe 1 minute left or 2. Let's see.
Okay, thank you.